Hello, children. Now let us begin with the exercise questions from the chapter Atoms and Molecules. Your question number one tells that there is a sample, okay? There is a sample of compound, and what it contains oxygen also, and it contains boron also, right? And what is the weight of this sample? It is 0.24 grams. This is the weight given for the sample. Okay. Now what was found by analysis that it contains 0.096 grams of boron, okay, and 0.144 grams of oxygen. You have to calculate the percentage composition of the compound by weight. So what you have to calculate is the percentage, right? Of what? Of the composition, means what all things are there in this sample. So you already know there is oxygen and there is boron. You have to find the percentage of it. Oxygen weight is also given, and for boron also it is given, right? For oxygen it is 0.96 and 096, and for boron it is 0.096, and for oxygen it is 0.144. And you have to do the simple mathematical calculation which you do, okay, to calculate the percentage. Now let's see what we have to do. Okay, boron mass is given, mass for oxygen given, mass of the sample means the total quantity, that also you know. So what will be the percentage of boron by weight in the compound? So for boron it will be the mass of the boron divided by the total mass of the sample into 100. You get your answer, fine. Similarly, to find the percentage of oxygen, what you will do? Here you will take the mass of oxygen divided by mass of the total sample into 100 to calculate the percentage. So simple mathematical calculation you have to do, and you have to find the percentage composition of its compound, okay, for the sample. Now moving on to the next question. In the next question it is given that there is carbon. How much carbon is given? 3 grams of carbon, okay. Suppose there is something which is made of only carbon and its mass is 3 grams. Now when it is burnt in 8 grams of oxygen, 11 grams of carbon dioxide is produced, okay. 11 grams of what is produced? Carbon dioxide. Now they are saying what mass of carbon dioxide will be formed when 3 grams of carbon is burnt in 50 grams of oxygen. See, this is 3 grams of carbon. It is burning with 8 grams of oxygen and it is producing carbon dioxide as a product, and its mass is given. Okay, here also it is given that it is 3 grams, and they are asking you what will form when the same 3 grams of carbon is burned with 50 grams of oxygen. So you know there is a law of definite proportionality. According to that, the elements, okay, the individual elements, they are going to combine together in a fixed proportion. So if 3 grams has bound with or has bonded with 8 grams of oxygen to give this much carbon dioxide, and if you supply more oxygen, here as you see quantity of carbon is same, right? 3 grams is same, but what is increasing? Oxygen, okay, quantity of oxygen. It is just like same amount of carbon being burned in more supply or with more amount of oxygen. So what is going to happen? Will there be any change? Is it going something extra will be formed? No. Yes. So which law of chemical combination will govern your answer? It is the law of constant proportion. Okay, so this is because there will be this combination which will form other elements that are going to bond together, okay, to form the carbon dioxide. They are going to bind in the same proportion. It will not happen that you supply it with more oxygen and something extra will be formed. No. Okay, so 3 grams of carbon will be using always 8 grams of oxygen. Okay, if you see when we write CO2, so what is the mass of carbon? If we say it is 12. For oxygen, what is the mass of oxygen? It is 16, right? But there are 2. So 16 into 2, it will become 32. So if you find the proportion of 12 is to 32, what will come? Yes, 2 6 are 12, 2 1s are 2, 3, 2 6 are 12, 2 3s are 6, 2 8s are 16. Correct? What has come? 3 is to 8. Okay, so it is always 3 grams of carbon that are going to be bonded with the 8 grams of oxygen. So you see how the mass proportionality has been maintained. So this is the reason. Okay, which law of chemical combination it is following? It is the law of constant proportion, given by whom? By Proust. Okay, so let us move to the next question. So here is your next question. What are polyatomic ions? So polyatomic ions are those that will contain many atoms. Poly means many atoms, and that too in the ionic form. So how will you write definition for it? Polyatomic ion is a group of atoms carrying charges. These charges can be positive or it can be negative. Some examples also you need to remember, like ammonium ion, it has NH4 plus charge. It has hydroxide ion, OH minus, carbonate is CO3 2 minus, and sulfate ion, okay, here it is written together, it is sulfate and then ion SO4 2 minus. Okay, so this is what you should know. Moving on to the next question. Here they are asking you to write the chemical formula. Okay, so first one, magnesium chloride. Magnesium chloride, magnesium symbol is Mg, for chlorine symbol is Cl. Thereafter what you have to do, you have to crisscross their valency. For magnesium, valency is, yes, it is 2. Good. And for chlorine it is 1. So MgCl2. Okay. Moving on to the next one, calcium oxide. For calcium valency and oxygen valency, we have to write calcium valency is 2 and oxygen valency is also 2. So they both get cancelled. It becomes calcium oxide, CaO. This is what you have to write. Now, the next one is copper nitrate. Okay, so copper nitrate, copper symbol you know it is Cu. For nitrate symbol is NO3. Now valency for copper is 2, so we will write it here, putting this nitrate in bracket. For NO3 it is 1, so we need not write, so we can just leave this, so it becomes CuNO3 twice. Okay, now the next one, in the next, what is asked? Aluminium chloride. So aluminium chloride is AlCl3. Okay, aluminium, you write the symbol for chlorine and then crisscross their valency. For aluminium, valency is, yes, 3, and for chlorine it is -1. You will write 1. Okay, so AlCl3. Next one is for calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate, you will first write the symbol for each one. Okay, calcium valency is 2. For carbonate also valency is 2. Okay, so I'll write here. So now 2 and 2 get cancelled. What our formula will be? Chemical formula will be CaCO3. Okay, this is how you have to do these type of questions. Now moving on to the next question. That is question number 5. Give the names of the element present in the following compound. Okay, so the first one is quicklime. What is the chemical formula for quicklime? Quicklime is written as calcium oxide. Okay, elements present are calcium and oxygen. Hydrogen bromide is HBr. Hydrogen and bromine are the elements present in that. Baking powder. Baking powder is NaHCO3, which contains sodium, hydrogen, carbon and oxygen. Okay, NaHCO3. Na is a symbol for sodium, hydrogen, C is for carbon and oxygen. Okay, and the last one here is potassium sulfate. Potassium sulfate is K2SO4. What all elements are present? It has 2 atoms of potassium and 1 atom of sulfur, and you see 4 atoms of oxygen. Okay, now let us move on to the next question. Question number 6. Question number 6, here you have to calculate the molar mass. Okay, molar mass has to be calculated for the following substance. Let us take ethine. So ethine, C2H2. How many atoms of carbon are there? 2. So we write 2 first, followed by its molecular mass. So 2 multiplied by 12. Then that we have to add it to hydrogen. How many atoms of hydrogen are there? 2 atoms are there. So 2 is multiplied with 1. 1 is the molecular mass for hydrogen. When you do the calculation, this will be your answer. Okay, similarly for S8. So for sulfur molecule or S8, it is molecular mass for sulfur is 32. Okay, And how many atoms of sulfur are there? 8. So you have to multiply by number 8. You get your answer as 256. Okay. Now moving on to the next one. Phosphorus. Phosphorus is P4 and its atomic mass is 31. So how many atoms are there? 4 atoms of phosphorus are there. So 4 has to be multiplied by its atomic mass, which is 31, and you get your answer. Similarly, for hydrogen chloride, what you will do? For hydrogen, atomic mass is 1. That you have to add it to the atomic mass for chlorine. Okay, chlorine atomic mass is 35.5. So it becomes 36.5 will be your answer. Okay, next one is nitric acid. Nitric acid is HNO3. Okay, so now again you have to add their individual molecular mass. Hydrogen atom is only 1, so we will add 1 plus nitrogen mass is 14, so we will add plus 14, and oxygen we see there are 3 atoms of oxygen, so 3 will be multiplied by molecular mass of each atomic mass of oxygen, that is 16. Okay, so 3 into 16 you have to do, and then add all the individual atomic masses, you will get your answer. So that will be called as molar mass, okay, or molecular mass. Fine. Now going on to the next question, the question number 7. In question number 7, they are asking you what is the mass of 1 mole of nitrogen atom. Okay. So for 1 mole of nitrogen atom, how we write 1 mole? Right, just a second. 1 mole of anything means that nitrogen. Okay, 1 mole of nitrogen. So 1 mole of nitrogen will have what? How much mass it will have? The atomic mass of the nitrogen atom, which is 14, right? If I say 2 moles of nitrogen, it will become twice of 14. Okay, so I hope this is clear, and which is equal to Avogadro numbers of atoms, right? Now 1 mole of nitrogen atom is 1 mole of nitrogen atom. What answer will you write? It is 14 gram. Okay, 4 moles of aluminium atom, what you will do? You have to 4 NH3. Okay, this is what is it is aluminium. Just a second, I'm so sorry. There, okay, it's not ammonia, it is aluminium. Okay, so it is 4 moles of aluminium atom. So aluminium symbol is Al, and they are saying 4 moles of aluminium. So for each aluminium atom, atomic mass is 27. So for 4, it will be 4 into 27, and you get your answer. Okay, it is done over here. Then the next one is 10 moles of sodium sulfite. Okay, 10 moles of sodium sulfite. Now what you have to do? First you will find the molar mass, okay, molecular mass for sodium sulfite, Na2SO3, which will be what? Na is a symbol for sodium. So sodium, how many atoms are present? Na, 2 atoms are present. So 2 multiplied by atomic mass of sodium. Then sulfur, it is only 1. So we will add the atomic mass of sulfur, which is 32. Then oxygen atomic mass is 16, which will be multiplied by 3. Okay, because there are 3 atoms of oxygen present. Okay, so it becomes 126. So 126 has to be multiplied by 10 because they are asking you for 10 moles. If it is asked for only 1 mole of Na2CO3, so in that case you have to find only the molecular mass of it. If it is asked for 2 moles, so multiplied by 2. Like that you have to do these type of questions. Okay. Okay, in this question they are asking you to convert it into moles. Okay, means you have to find out in this many grams how many moles will be present. Okay, so in the first question it is oxygen gas. You know this, how we write oxygen? This is the oxygen. Okay, so 1 mole of oxygen, okay, 1 mole of oxygen will be, means what? Oxygen molecule O2. Okay, oxygen, 1 mole of oxygen will be 32 grams, right? Because oxygen is a diatomic, it will exist in diatomic state. So O2, 1 oxygen, only single atom is there, so its mass is 16. Okay, but for O2 mass will be twice of 16, that is 32. Okay, so when I am writing O2, its 1 mole mass is 32 grams. Fine. So now we can make the relation that 32 grams of oxygen is equal to 1 mole. Okay, nothing is written here, means it is 1. Correct. So 32 grams of oxygen is 1 mole. So here in the question it is asked for 12 grams. So for 12 grams it will be equal to how many moles? Okay, so by using your simple mathematical funda of calculation you can do this. Okay, so it will become 12 divided by 32. Okay, or you can do it like 1 upon 32 into 12. So you get the answer. Okay, now in the next one it is 12 gram of water. What you will do in 12 grams of water? So water, if you take the H2O, when we are writing oxygen mass, there is only one atom of oxygen. See here, there are not two. There nothing is written, means it is one, right? So oxygen, one atom of oxygen weighs how much? 16 gram. Okay, and for hydrogen there are two, so we will add 2, right? For each hydrogen it is 1 atomic mass unit. Okay, so 16 plus 2 becomes 18, right? So 18 grams is equal to 1 mole of H2O. Therefore 12 grams will be equal to how many moles, right? So it will become, yes, it is asked for. Here in the question for water it is 12 written, but here while solving it is taken as 20. Okay, you can keep it 12 or you just check in your book. Yes, it is 20. Okay, so 20 grams of water, it will be how much? So 1 divided by 18 into 20. Okay, do it directly, 20 upon 18. Fine. Now moving on to the next one. 44 grams of for 44 grams of carbon dioxide, it is asked. Just a second. Okay, so here when we do for CO2, okay, one atom of carbon weighs 12 and two atoms of oxygen will weigh how much? 16 to the 32. So when you add it will come to 44. Okay, so 44 grams of the CO2 is equal to 1 mole of CO2, right? Therefore for 22 grams it will be how much? So 22 upon 44, normal mathematical calculation which you follow, that you have to do it to calculate. Okay, so it will come to 0.5 moles. Now next question, what is the mass of 0.2 moles of oxygen atoms? So what you have to do here, it is asked for 0.2 moles. So you can find for 1 mole, right? For 1 mole of oxygen, okay, for 1 mole of oxygen it is how much? 1 mole of oxygen means 1 oxygen, okay, 1 oxygen atom. Now because they are asking you for oxygen atom, okay, so don't think about O2, it is just oxygen. Okay, now we are just talking about one single atom. So 1 for mass of 1 mole of oxygen atom will be 16 gram. Okay, don't be confused here. For 1 mole of oxygen atom, 1 mole of oxygen atom, okay, 1 mole of oxygen atom O is equal to 16 gram. Therefore for 0.2 moles of oxygen it will be how much? So 0.2 into 16. Yes, for 1 it is this much. So for 0.2, or let's say for 2 or for 4, it will be how much? You have to simply multiply by that number. Okay, in the next one, 0.5 mole of water molecules. Okay, so you need to find the molar mass of water molecule. So how this 18 has come? It is a molar mass. H2O is water is H2O, right? For oxygen atomic mass is 2. Okay, for single hydrogen I'm so sorry, for hydrogen it is 2 and for oxygen it is 16. Okay, 2 atoms of hydrogen are there, so we have written 2. For 1 atom of oxygen mass is 16, so 16 plus 2 becomes 18, correct? So this is what 18 is written here. So for 0.5 moles it will be how much? So you have to calculate. 0.5 is nothing but half, right? So half of 18, it will come to 9 grams. Okay, now this question is done. Moving on to the next question, that is question number 10. Okay, this in question number 10, calculate the number of molecules of sulfur. Okay, number of molecules you have to find out in 16 grams of sodium in the 16 grams of solid sulfur. Okay, so whenever you have to find the number of atoms or number of molecules, okay, this type of question comes, you have to remember Avogadro's number. Okay, Avogadro's concept or the mole concept you have to apply there. 1 second. Okay, so 1 mole of sulfur, solid sulfur, that is S8, will be equal to 8 into what is this, 32. 32 is the mass of sulfur. Okay, 1 atom of sulfur weighs 32, so 8 atoms will be weighing 8 into 32, so 256 is your molar mass. This is what you have got here, correct? So 256 is the molar mass. For 1 mole of salt acid, it is 256. Therefore, we can write it like this, that 256, which is nothing but 1 mole of it, right? This is 1 mole is nothing but 256, which is equal to Avogadro's number of molecule. Okay, so 1 mole of anything, you know, according to the mole concept, 1 mole of anything is equal to Avogadro's number of atoms or molecules. So 1 mole of S8 is equal to Avogadro's number of molecules, that is 6.02 into 10 power 23. Therefore 16 gram of it, okay, they are asking you for 16 gram, right? This is what is the question. You have to find it for 16 gram. For 256 gram, you know already, applying the mole concept, that 1 mole of anything is equal to Avogadro number. Okay, so 1 mole of acid will be also equal to Avogadro number. Therefore 16 gram of it will be equal to how much? So this divided by, this means here 6.02 10 power 23 divided by 256 into 16. Okay, this is what you have to do. You will get your answer as this approximately. Fine. Moving on to the last